What's up, everyone? Kevin Oak here. As you can see, Dan Green paid a little visit to Coliseum Gym. He was out here over the weekend. He had a seminar up in Westchester County, which is it's like just a little bit north of New York City. So, stopped by the night before. We got some benching in, more specifically feet up benching, which, as I've said before, it's just great on kind of targeting all the muscles that are specifically very important for bench press. When you do these, it hits your chest, your biceps, your triceps, your shoulders, your lats. It hits them extremely hard and allows you to kind of focus in on those areas instead of worrying about your leg drive and things like that. It's really good for off season specifically, especially when you're doing a lot more squatting and deadlifting and your lower back gets a little sore. It kind of takes some of the pressure off of that and just allows you to focus on what you really need to focus on when you're doing the bench press. So we did a couple sets of these. I think I hit a set of, I don't know, I might have done one set at like 400 for a triple. Then we both did 390 for 5, followed by, we did a couple back down sets. I think we did a set at like 336, and then a set around like 260-ish. But getting more into squats, I decided to do some low bar. It wasn't really something I thought about ahead of time, but I had been noticing my shoulders have been getting more mobile. Obviously, they're not, obviously I'm not a yogi or I'm not extremely mobile at this point, but I have been getting better. And I've just been kind of noticing when I go to squat, the bar itself has kind of been trying to work its way down without me really doing anything. Just when I'm starting to get into my squat position under the bar, I've noticed lately that the bar is almost naturally drifting towards the top of my rear delts anyway. So I decided to just, go for it all in kind of, instead of doing my normal high bar, just because it did seem like it would be at a point now where it wouldn't necessarily, automatically aggravate my biceps and my shoulders. So tried it out. It did feel better than the other times I've tried it. It still is putting a ton of stress on my hands, which really isn't a big deal at all. But the main thing was, as I was working through these sets, I was able to bring my hands in a little closer than I used to. I used to have them way out by the collars. I was able to probably bring them in about like 5 inches on each side, which allowed me to kind of retract my scapula much better, kind of building a better shelf on my rear delts for the bar. So that alone just helped me stay much tighter as I was descending and obviously coming back up. So that was a definite benefit. The biggest surprise to me was it wasn't irritating my biceps, which is key because that's the main reason I'll do them. In the past, I have been able to, to do them fairly heavy. I even did 820 with knee wraps at one point, which at the time was an overall PR on squats. But my main issue with low bar squats is that they end up stressing at my biceps to the point that it kills all of my bench press workouts. It gives me crazy tendonitis in my forearms going into my biceps to the point where I can't even train bench press effectively. And since I do full power meets, obviously you can't just focus on one of the lifts. You have to be able to do all 3 of them. So I would tend to just go back to high bar, which I can usually do pain-free with no issues. So the main thing in this was I was able to do it with no bicep stress, which is key. If that can continue, then I certainly see low bar, being something I could do into the future, which would be awesome. Obviously, it would definitely add weight to my squat. I mean, the last time I did it seriously, it added like a good 20, 30 pounds to my squat. So if I could do it all the way through to boss of bosses, that would be great. I mean, I'd probably be able to squat no knee wraps somewhere around like 810, 820 hopefully. But just watch this. Didn't get crazy heavy. Worked up to 600 for 5 reps. Felt fine on my legs. When I do low bar, it's easier on my legs, a much stronger stance. So the real issue just kind of comes in with the shoulders and making sure I can actually hold it tight without feeling like it's going to just roll off and without feeling like my forearms are going to, snap or pull or anything like that. So I was happy I was able to get back into these. We'll see. I'm not going to do them every week. When I have done them successfully in the past, the main thing I had to do was just stick to usually doing them only every 2 weeks, maybe even every 3. I'll probably switch them off each week with 1 week low bar, 1 week SSB, or 1 week SSB front squats or something like that, just to kind of keep stress off of the biceps and let them just recover and still be able to do of the other training I need to do. Since I am so far out from Boss of Bosses, I think it's like 18 or 19 weeks out, I'll probably just add 20 pounds every time I do low bar squats and just slowly build up all the way to the meet. That would be ideal. I'm hoping I can stick to that, which would kind of put me around like 760ish, 780ish, somewhere around there. That's my last workout low bar before the meet, which should hopefully be somewhere around an opener, 760 if I was aiming to go 810, 820.